I can't do anything without like getting in a fight. I mean, like going to the grocery store and they're like, do you have a card? I don't do rewards programs. You don't legally have to carry a card. I know this. If you stand there 10, 20 minutes, whatever, for them to figure it out, that's on them. But I don't know, it's just something about like I just cannot carry a CVS card. They don't own me. All right, rock and roll. I can't tell you how good of a guy I am. But here's the thing. I have to be right. And I also, it's not enough for me to be right. I have to be told by the person who was wrong that they were wrong and that I am right.
I'll do one of my worst jokes.
I am a militant atheist. Religion is clearly made up. I believe in nothing paranormal. I believe in no religion, no anything. My brother calls me the ethicist. Whenever he has a morality question, he very condescendingly asks me what the correct moral stance is, and I really feel like I have an opinion on it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Nick Turner!
Could you imagine getting to work and not just hearing applause immediately? Wouldn't that be a nightmare? Anyway, don't worry, I don't have to do it. Yeah, no, put your drinks anywhere. The stage. Oh, this is your stage. You take this part right up front. Yeah, that's just for you. That's just for feet, bags, whatever. If you think I haven't done a show where people's bare feet were resting on the stage, then you don't know stand-up comedy. It's quite difficult, but I'm really great at it. Don't worry, I'm very talented. Two thigh-high boots, black leather boots in the front row. Are you guys friends? Did you get ready together? No. Were you a little upset when you saw each other? Be honest. I'm not gonna make fun of you. No, okay, yeah, you're hugging a little too hard. You hate her. I get it. I get it. Oh, we're both wearing the black leather I was wearing. I actually have to clean up later, so I'm gonna... guys, we're about to have a great fucking night. We're on TV, you know? How often are you on TV? I mean, me all the time. But you guys, probably never. Why is this so antagonistic? I don't know. They said, it's all full of nice people. And I said, I'll change that. I'm gonna get out there and really rile them up, especially a leather coat guy who does not like me yet. I gained a lot of weight over pandemic. And I was not this fat, I gotta tell you. I was 275, now I'm 278. Cannot lose this last 3. But you probably can't tell because I always wear 2 shirts. Kind of a magic trick. Probably thought I was a skinny guy. You wear one over your body, it slims you down. It's nice. 2 shirts. I always wear 2 shirts. That's a fact. If you catch me wearing 1 shirt, I guarantee you I'm doing one of 2 things. I am either swimming in a pool, or I am having sex. Finally got him. Oh, actually, I'm wearing my pool shirt now. Hold on. I clearly have a shirt on. Wait, no. I told you I wear 2 shirts because I'm self-conscious. How dare you? You're too pretty to do that to me. Shirt on, and it's my pool shirt, and I'm gonna do it over here first. Hold on. No, I want to do something. No, it's funny. when you wear this in the pool, you know, everyone's like, you know, why are you wearing that shirt in the pool? And I'm like, where else am I gonna wear it? It would be ridiculous if I wasn't in a pool right now. Think, idiot. And I win. Okay, so I gotta put this shirt back on, but I want to do a magic trick. So you guys gotta play with me. I'm gonna do this. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Yeah, I love doing TV. I wish more sets were on TV.
I have been with I say wife, because we've been together for 10 years. I have no problem with the word wife. I have no problem with having a wife. I'm very committed. I was committed immediately. But I just don't have any respect for marriage. Marriage is something people do on game shows. Marriage is something, you know, in a lot of cultures, your parents make you do. It's not the ultimate declaration of love. The ultimate declaration of love is just being there for a person every day and being fully committed to them, which I am, very much so. And then 10 years into my relationship, I'm 41 years old, she gets pregnant and people think, oh, was that an accident? Oh, is this a problem?
But am I wrong? Aren't you getting married?
Yeah, so you know, when we first started dating, I was like, I hate marriage. And she's like, me too. You know, she lied. So I got engaged recently, but it's not that exciting because she was already pregnant. It's not I mean, it was, you know, we've been together 10 years. It was on purpose. Anyway, I like to do things late. I don't have any respect for marriage. It doesn't matter to me at all. Every time someone gets engaged, they act like they're the first person to ever get engaged. You know, and they're like, I got engaged! Can you believe it? And I'm always like, yes. In fact, it's one of the most believable things I've ever heard. You know who else got engaged? Everyone. Most of them twice. Yeah, people love doing it. I'm sure you'll love it this time and the next. And then when people, you know, as soon as they get engaged, they want you to be a part of their love story. You know, you gotta be there every step of the way. You were there when we met, you gotta be there now. As soon as they get engaged, you gotta be the first one at their engagement party to see that blood diamond in person. Wow. A lot of conflict there. Very nice. And then they start, you know, sending you mail, you know, to your house where your children live, and just warning you more mail is coming. And they're like, save the date. I'm gonna send you another envelope. Other envelopes inside of it. It's gonna be nuts. Save that whole day. And then on the day they get married, suddenly I gotta fly to Dallas or some dumb city so I can see you get married in person like you're a band I love. I don't love your band. You don't have any hits. I don't care if it was my favorite band. I wouldn't go to Dallas. If that was the only city they ever performed in. I don't care. I will watch it on Zoom. And then a couple years later, when it inevitably falls apart, suddenly I'm no longer a part of their love story. Nobody calls me to even tell me. Sometimes I don't even know for years that they've broken up. There's not like a group text where they're like, whoops. There's not like an Instagram post of like a ring in a trash can. Nothing. It's just suddenly it's silent. I was there for you. If you want, you should be allowed to get divorced as much as you want. But you should have to make as big a deal out of it as you did your sham wedding. When you get divorced, I want to be there every step of the way. I want to be a part of your divorce story. I want to go to your engagement party and be the first one to tell you, I told you so. And then I want more save the dates. Just, you know, for big moments in your divorce. Wow, save the date, November 10th. I punched her dad. In the mail, I'd like to receive that.
save the date, January 11th. I guess we're just masturbating now. I want to know about it. And then on the day you get divorced, you should legally be required to fly everyone back to Dallas. And get us all in that church where you lied in front of God and explained to us what went wrong. Where's my toaster?
It's my mom's birthday today.
Is it? All right. Happy
Yeah.
birthday to your mom.
Yeah, she was born in Jamaica, and no one ever believes me the first time I say that, you know? Whereas my mom's a Jamaican immigrant. Oh, good joke. You know, I was like, there's no joke attached. It's real. Sorry, she was white. But she's third generation Jamaican, and then when she was a kid, they moved to Michigan. But yeah, she chaperoned every field trip I ever had. My dad was the coach of every sports team I was ever on. And that just does not make a good comedian. And I blame all my failures on just my idyllic childhood.
I should say, my mom is here. Yeah. Marsha Turner. You're wondering, why was a woman sitting alone? How'd she get that whole booth? And I'm sitting here in the back row. Well, she's my mother. So maybe try being my mom next time, idiots. Look at that wonderful woman. It is her birthday. Mom, thank you for coming. Do you love me?
Madly.
I knew I could get her to say it as long as it was on television. Finally hear it once. Now you'll notice my dad's not there, and he was supposed to be, but I got a call right before I came out that he had refused to get a COVID test. Now that's true. That's a real thing that happened. I was all jazzed to come out here. I'm gonna warn the hell out of these people. And then the producer came up to me and he's like, I got some news. And I said, shoot it to me straight, I'm fired. And he said, no worse. Your dad's making a real scene out there. All true. He refused to get a test, and he's not coming in. And I said, that is insane. That does not sound like my dad. He is not a COVID denier guy. He's double vaxxed. He wears a mask everywhere he goes. That doesn't make, and I said to the producer, I think you're wrong. And he said, you know, I don't know, give him a call. I was, I'm calling him. And then I called him, and he said, they made me fill out too much paperwork. And I said, that does sound like him. Everything immediately makes sense. That guy's not gonna fill out paperwork to get into a fucking comedy show. He knows they weren't gonna sit him on the front row. So anyway, thank you for coming, Mom. I love you. Say happy birthday, Mom.
My dad, he was military. I mean, military. I mean, if he starts bragging about his military experience, that's stolen valor. He was in the Air Force during Vietnam, but he couldn't go because he had injured his finger in a pickup game on base, broke his finger weird, and then the doctor that operated on him, like, screwed it up, and he can't make a fist, and, like, to this day. And then he met the doctor's girlfriend at a party, and she was there in Japan, like, teaching English. That's my mom. And then they got married, like, really quickly, and they are in the happiest, most perfect, hand-holding everywhere to this day, today. Yeah, they've been together, I don't know numbers like that. Again, I don't listen to them. But it's like 50 years, maybe?
My parents are wonderful. This is not indicative of how I feel about my father. My father is incredible. My parents were very there for me my whole childhood, too much so, too good. They are incredible people, which makes what I'm about to say that much worse. I have a joke about my parents. They don't hear it. They've never heard it. My mom has no idea what I'm about to say. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry. No, I have a joke. It's a little sensitive, but it is about my parents, and usually at a show, if they were to come, I might not do it. But if it's going to be on television, then they're going to see it, so I thought, why not show it to both of them, I thought. Pretty sure I thought both of them were going to be there. But here it is, just for my mom, and again, I'm sorry it's your birthday, but this is what day the taping was. Here we go. When I was 14, I walked in on my parents having sex. Lip is quivering. And I'm gonna do it this way. And I walked in on my parents having sex, and honestly, it was pretty vanilla. Nothing crazy. Just very loving guy on top, normal stuff, and quite frankly, pretty boring. I walked in, instead of going, I was like, yawn. What is this? I got magazines under my bed now that are way dirtier than this. You guys have been together like 20 years. This is what you're doing. So I left. I just put my cigarette out and I went to bed. Nothing to see here. And then after my dad came in my room just to check on me. Good guy, great guy. My mom too, love him. They're so good, but there's more joke. He came in the room and he said, do you have any questions? And then I said, do you have any questions? I got some magazines you need to see. We're gonna work on this. Put on a pot of coffee. We're pulling an all-nighter. That's my mom in there. I love you, Mom. But let's be honest, it's better that Dad didn't come.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Marsha Turner on her birthday, everybody.
I mean, my parents would get called all the time. I went to the principal's office so many times. My mom got called in because the teacher was mad because I didn't stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. And legally, I don't have to say it.
Bro, this is what I love here.
They've already been through that in the
You
court.
throw the legal things out of it.
It's true. So every single morning, everybody gets up, and then I sit there, and I do nothing. And I just sit there. And then my teacher is like, that's enough. And I'm calling your mom. And then my mom had to come down to school. And she's like, your son doesn't stand up. And then she's like, okay. And then she said, does he cause a disturbance? And she's like, no, he just sits there quietly. And then she's like, you got me out of work. And you made me come down to school to tell me that my son's not causing a disturbance. You know, like, how dare you? That woman was a one-year teacher. She did not come back the next year.
Guys, I recently had a baby, so thank you. Hopefully in 40 years, he can embarrass the hell out of me the exact same way. When I say a baby, I mean a real baby. I have a 2-month-old. I am in that portion of fatherhood where nothing good has happened yet. It's pretty much all bad. And that's where I'm coming from. You rarely see people here because they're usually not out of the house. You don't see people in the first 2 months. Boy, it's tough. When you have a baby, man, you're thrown into a whole nother world. You know, as soon as you get pregnant, you're just like on this track, and then people talk to you just a different way, and they ask you questions they don't give a shit about. It's just like, you gotta say it, because baby. Like, as soon as my wife got pregnant, everybody who would see it was like, oh, you're pregnant. Is it a boy or a girl? You know? Is it a boy or a girl? Tell me! But why? Why do you care? You know, just like a lady in the bank. You know, it's like, oh, you're pregnant. Is it a boy or a girl? Why do you give a shit? I don't know you. You might as well ask me, oh, you're pregnant. Do you mind if I waste your time? be like, yes, this is a big waste of time. And they'll be like, were you hoping for a waste of time? And I'll be like, the wife and I just thought, as long as it's a healthy waste of time, we'd be happy. Anyway, thanks for asking, lady at the bank. I don't know why she cared, but I like to think that she left that bank and then went into her car and grabbed her notebook. And then it was just the last line in the notebook, and she wrote, one boy. She put it down and died. My life is complete. Dark, yes. Someone said this is dark. That's true. Another reason my dad probably didn't come. He heard my album. He's heard enough. Another thing that happens when you get pregnant is that you gotta move. I don't care where you're living or how big your house is, but it ain't big enough anymore, sweetheart. You gotta get a bigger place, which I always thought is super weird because a baby is about the size of my hand. I don't know why I need a whole new house for this baby. I could move this baby from my right hand to my left hand. I don't need to move houses. But we did, and it's nice because now I live in a real house. And before, I lived in kind of a fake fun house. I lived in a tiny house. I lived in a back house in Atwater here in Los Angeles. And a back house is a great way for an unsuccessful person to live in a nice neighborhood. So I really reveled in it. Every night I would drive my jalopy home and to my beautiful neighborhood, and then I would park in front of a beautiful house, and then I would walk around it. Careful not to touch the paint because I did get an email. I'd walk around that house to my doghouse for humans, my dollhouse for adults. I like to think 2 billionaires just had a bet. And they're like, I bet you can't get anyone to live in here. And then, one of them won. It was very, very tiny. Just like, it had all the rooms of a house, but like just hilarious versions of them. Like if you wanted to go all around my house, you could pretty much, kitchen, living room, bedroom, I'm out of the house. I'm in the backyard. A beautiful, large backyard that we had the full reign of because funny story, the people that lived in the big house, I never saw them. We lived there for 2 years. Perfect representation of capitalism. I don't know how many houses they owned. They might not know how many houses they owned. But they didn't let me go in this one. Every day I would just walk around, nice furniture in there, and then I would just fall into my casket for living people. My mobile home that doesn't even have wheels. And what's fun, as a treat for myself sometimes, I would go order an Uber, and then I would sit on the porch of the big house and wait for it. And then when the Uber would come, he'd be like, well, it's a nice house. And then I would say, thank you.
I'm an intelligent guy who didn't do well in school because, I had like some crazy ADD, unmedicated forever. And so I was never living up to my potential, and that was an often repeated phrase. Well, my brother, who's 3 years older than me, is like perfect. He Arnold Schwarzenegger'd it, and I Danny DeVito'd it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, he rules. I don't know. He like works really hard. He's really successful. He's also really cool and really funny and a great friend and brother, whatever. But he didn't give any problems. And then I come along and I'm a real piece of shit. I just question everything. I fight him on everything. I would never come home on time. I would come home at 11:02 instead of 11 o'clock, just to be like, you can't tell me when to come home. But I almost hit it every single time. And so she never like gave me any crap about it. She's like, I know what he's doing. I'm smarter than him.
Anyway, so I had the baby and it was great. Best day of my life is what people who would tell me. The best day of my life. I mean, it's a nice thought. But the best day of my life? I'm in the hospital? Guys, last year I won a car on The Price is Right. Thank you. This is not my best day. This day is, honestly not that good. First off, I hate surprises. Well, actually, it wasn't a surprise. We had a C-section, my idea. No, she did. The baby was breech. But we had the C-section, and when C-section is a literal surgery. And so that day, like, my wife, the love of my life, the one I want to die in the same minute as, is having surgery and like bleeding on a table, and then they hand me a baby, and I'm not thinking like, wow, what a great baby. I'm thinking, don't kill my wife, because she has a lot of work to do. I plan on doing half. I'm not doing all of it. Honestly, she wanted the baby more than me. If you kill her, kill me. And drop this baby off at the firehouse. I am not doing this alone, dear God. It's just really tough. I mean, I know it's going to be fun and easy and that's worth it, but now, you know, I'm not getting smiles, I'm not getting hugs, I'm getting headbutted and peed on, and I'm not there yet. It's not that we don't get sleep. I'm just kind of still in this spot. I should use the microphone. Honestly, it's tough to say, but half the time I hate my baby. Half. And then the other half of the time, my wife hates the baby. So we've always got someone loving the baby just in case, so the other one can have time to Google how late is too late for an abortion. Okay, so my dad can't come, but my baby's here. How much of that, this is my wife, Lyra. My baby, Otis. Lyra, how much of that did the baby hear?
He heard a lot of it. All of it.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
He did not like it.
He did, yeah. Thank you. Is there any way I can make it up to the baby?
Yeah, he said he wants to hear one more joke about him.
Okay.
But don't make it a gross one like the one about your parents.
Okay. Okay, good. What a fun, spontaneous moment. You know how much clearance a baby needs. Yet my dad can't fill it. Anyway, okay, one more. My baby's name is Otis. Of course, I thought of the perfect name eventually. We didn't name him till 3 days after he was born. Hard to come up with a name for forever. And when you get to the hospital, everyone asks you what the baby's name is, because they gotta like write it on charts and whatever. And we were like, I don't know. And people hated that. But everybody said, like, we don't have a name for it. They would go, oh, you're waiting to see the baby before you name it. And I was like, what a dumb way to name a baby. You look at a baby and you're like, that's a George. It's not George. A baby doesn't even look different from another baby. There's nothing there. If everybody waited to see their baby before they named it, there would be a lot more babies named a Ziploc bag full of mayonnaise. Doesn't look like anything. It would just be a baby named Gooface. You know Gooface? Of course! Of course I know. Doesn't he go to school with surprisingly hairy back? Yes, and doesn't he live down the street from Tiny Grandpa? Absolutely I know him because he's best friends with Oops, all birthmarks. All right, that's it. Thank you. I hope he still loves me. My wife, Lyra, my baby Otis, my mother, Marsha.
Your brain has a chemical where after you go through this part with your newborn, that's awful, it makes you forget about it. It like Men in Blacks your brain about how awful that was, because now you've got this kid that you love and he's great and he gives you love, and it's a two-way street. Me and other people who have had a baby 2 months ago, we're the only people who really knows how awful this is. You don't know about it, nobody knows about it, nobody can tell you, but everybody wants to tell you that it wasn't that bad and it was totally worth it and everything. But I mean, the idea of doing this again, I mean, not in a million years.
I went recently to Spain. Anybody been to Spain? Oh, gorgeous. I went with my parents, if you're wondering how I paid for it. I don't have any money. Yeah. You ever wonder what your hobbies would be if you had more money? 'Cause I know it's not the ones I have. I really like to garden, but I bet if I had $100 million, I probably wouldn't. Probably wouldn't be gardening. I'd probably find something else to do. Gardening, if you think about it, is just playing in the dirt. I don't think if I was a millionaire, I'd be like, ooh, I gotta play in the dirt. No, I don't know if I would exactly hunt humans for sport, but I don't know. I might get there, I don't know. But I definitely hear the phrase like, whose tiger is this? Way more. I don't know what I would be into, but I bake sourdough. No. I temped for 10 years while following my dreams. 10 years I temped because I got fired from every other job, so I was like, I need more jobs. Just on a whim, I need a job. So I temped for 10 years, and it's so funny when you sign up for temp agencies because they make you like fill out forms, they make you like tell them what you want to do. You know, like, what are your goals? You're like, I want to be an astronaut. And they're like, great, I'll write that down. That'll be helpful when I'm picking out jobs for you. And then they make you do like, you know, they make you take tests in Microsoft Word and Excel, PowerPoint, which I always thought was hilarious. When am I gonna get a temp job? And they're gonna be like, we need you to make the presentation. It's never gonna be. The client is on his way. Where's the temp? Everything's riding on this. He's making $60 today. It's never gonna come up. Nothing ever comes up. Every temp job, you just sit in a chair with glasses with eyeballs painted on them. It's not real. So the one thing that they require in temps is that they graduate high school. There's just too many people, or graduate college. There's too many people that want to be, graduating high school. That's the bar. Couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. No, you got to graduate college to be a temp. I don't know why, but you just do. And so I did not graduate college, and I was trying to temp, and it was quite difficult. So then one day I decided maybe I did graduate college. I don't know, who's to say? So I made an addendum on my resume. I graduated from George Mason University, it's the college I went to, and did not graduate from, with a theater degree. That's what I wrote on there, which is kind of funny. It's a funny thing to lie about. Theater degree. That's not impressive. A theater degree is kind of like the equivalent of some high school. It knocks you back a peg. But anyway, I said I graduated college, and then I worked for 10 years temping. That was that easy. I had so many temp agencies. That's you got have 10 of them. And then no one ever checked. You know, no one ever called until someone did. And I got a call one day from my temp agency, and they were like, hey, Nick, I just want to let you know I called George Mason, and there's some discrepancy with your graduation status. And I said, you got me. I don't know how you did it, Judy, but I did not graduate college. Good on you. You did it. I don't know why she called. I don't know. I don't know what it was about me that Judy just didn't buy. Why? I fooled so many people over so many years, but not you, Judy. Judy, you saw through it, and I just why was Judy calling people? I just like to think Judy was just working late one night, just 6 coffees deep. And she just had my resume on her desk, and she was just like, something doesn't smell right. This guy graduated with a theater degree? I don't think so. Not this jabroni. I gotta get to the bottom of this. And I like to think she went to her boss's office, and she was like, you gotta let me run with this story. I got 3 calls into George Mason right now, and guess what? They never heard of the guy. we're gonna get a Pulitzer. This is Chair Sitters Limited. We're not gonna do that. But anyway, she ended the phone call by saying, she was like, sir, which was hilarious at that point, sir, okay. But she was like, you shouldn't lie on your resume. And I said, Judy, you're right about a lot of things. But you're not right about this. Go to hell, I got 8 other temp agencies.
I just can't listen to people that I don't respect. I got fired from TGI Fridays because I asked the assistant manager to come help me with something, and he was talking to some other managers and didn't do it, and I came back and I was like, are you gonna help me now or what? Like, you know, that's actually why I started temping, really, because I got fired too many times. And so I just wanted a job where it was not a problem if I got fired. And it didn't work. I got fired twice in the same day. I was doing a temp job, and it didn't go very well. And I was asked to leave. And then I called my temp agency, and I was like, got fired. And they're like, you're fired from here, too.
Yeah, I'm poor. So I actually started, I have a podcast called Get Rich Nick. And you haven't heard about it. It's not popular. Actually, not a lot of people listen. Please, I don't have a joke about it. I'm out of ways to promote. Please listen to it. No. We've been doing it for a few years. It's a lot of fun. Every week we try a new way to make money quickly. We do like a lot of gig economy stuff, apps. We've done a bunch of gambling. Like we donated plasma. Everything where you're like, how do I get money now? That's what we do. So people are always asking me what the best way to make money quickly is. And it's very, very easy to answer that question. In my experience, the best way to make money quickly is to win a car on The Price is Right. I don't know if it's something everyone could do. But my co-host, Nick Vatterott, he had a former roommate who had won a car on The Price is Right. So we had him on the show and we asked him how to get on. And so I'm gonna tell you how to get on The Price is Right now. All right, so what you have to do is have a personality. And I know that rules out a lot of you. I'm sorry. Not everyone, not you two, because I see you got all the emotions right up front. But also, it's very important to not, here's what you don't do. Don't say you're an entertainer. Don't say you're from Los Angeles. Those are secrets. So what I did is I told them I was a karaoke host from Richmond, Virginia. Because I thought that would be someone who might have a lot of energy, but no designs on the biz. So pretty much, I mean, it's insane. You see all the interviews they do with people, and they're like, hi, what's your name? And they're like, oh, my name is Thomas. You know, and you're like, whatever. And they're like, what's your name? My name is Nick. They're like, you're getting on the show. That dude knew his name right away. Put him up front. But we got on, you know, and then you get in the studio, and all the producers are on stage, just like just filling in, and then people are dancing. They're pumping in Bruno Mars, and everyone is just dancing. You know, just like trying to make eye contact with the producers. And they're like, I'm so fucking fun, man. Imagine if I was up there, please. I come here every week. But I didn't want to do it that way. I wanted to get on the right way. So I refused to dance. I made eye contact with the producer and I was like, this isn't how I do it. And anyway, I was the first one called up. I immediately won the contestants row. I got on stage. They told me to throw some dice. They were like, those are correct. And then they gave me a car. And it took about a minute 30. And it was like kind of a whirlwind, and then they took me backstage, and I'm just like sitting in the dark in the wings, and there was a PA there, and I was like, this is crazy, because on the way to the taping, my tire blew out. This is true. I had to call AAA. It was fucking awful, and then I won a car, and then the PA just like listens to me, and she said, you don't get the car today, sir. Already jaded. As a production, you're gonna need to learn to lie better, babe. And then I got to pull that big wheel, and I I didn't win. I didn't get to go to the showcase. But I was like, I'm a comedian. I can't be on The Price is Right without trying to do one bit. I got to do something. And so as soon as I lost, I just pretended that I won. And I jumped up and down. Yeah! I don't know. Maybe I could confuse them into getting on. Yeah! And then the woman who did win, she was pretty confused. Instead of celebrating, she was like, why is that guy jumping up and down? And then Drew Carey turned to her and he was like, oh no, he was just doing a bit. He's a comedian, he gets it.
You know, you're growing up, you're like, oh, you're the funny guy, you should be a stand-up comedian. And I should be a stand-up comedian. That sounds great. It's the only thing I ever wanted to do, and boy howdy have I really thought about what else I would do. You know, there's lots of peaks and valleys in a career, and there's been a lot of low moments where I'm like, I'm just gonna go back to school, but I can't think of a single thing I would do. I like hanging out with my friends, and I just like, you know, I like this lifestyle, and I don't want to answer to anybody.
So anyway, won a car, pretty sweet. That's the best way to make money quickly, but that's boring. I want to talk about what the worst way to make money quickly is that I have found, because we've done a lot of things. Tried to give sperm, too old. Too old. They don't want my old sperm. It's not a joke, people. Stop laughing at me. Trying to have a serious moment. No, the worst way that I've found to make money quickly is walking dogs. We did an episode on walking dogs. I tried to become a WAG dog walker, which I thought would be pretty easy. To become a dog walker. But I'll tell you what, I did not pass the test at WAG to be a dog walker. They only take like 7% of applicants. I don't know, it's harder to get into than Harvard. So I couldn't do it. Any WAG walkers here? What? Okay, no, you're in some fucking mansion in the hills. You're at the WAG Christmas party already. It's 2 months long. God, what a company. No, I didn't make it. So I had to sign up with Rover. And not everybody gets into Rover. It's more than WAG. So part of the test was I had to go down to a WeWork where they gave me a stuffed animal dog and a bunch of harnesses, and I had to prove I could put all the harnesses on the dog. I was like, guess what? I did it. I did it. Very talented. Little bow tie on there. Yeah, I just brought bow ties with me. No, but it's so weird. Anyway, then you start walking dogs, and the money is insane. I mean, it is so stupid. You're not making anything. Rover is pretty much just like a kind of a way to meet dogs. You just want to meet some dogs and maybe get like some Uber money home. When the dog's done with you, he's like, here, take a cab. Thanks for coming. Oh, my real owners are coming. They can't see you here. Please get out of here. But people, when you walk their dogs, I thought that it was because they were at work. But then most of the houses I would go to, they were just there. They just don't like walking their dog. It's so weird. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? You got a deadline? And he's like, oh, I'm just watching The Sopranos. Season 3. So I went, okay, so it was a short tenure as a dog walker, and it ended pretty spectacularly. I showed up at a house, and a woman had this very skittish dog in Koreatown, and that's not relevant in any way. It's important to have details in case you want to redo the step again, fall, go, and this is all going to go in. huh? And I just have a meltdown. And it's just on TV. And they're like, why didn't anyone edit that? This kid had a brain aneurysm. Retrace my steps. Who gives a shit? That's probably the most insulting applause I've ever gotten in my entire life. That really reminded me of a time when I was temping, and I had a job for like 3 days where I was just stamping envelopes. Or fold. I just had a stamp, and I would stamp folders over and over for 3 days. And then the whole time I was doing that, people that worked at the company would come by and be like, wow, that looks great. What were you expecting? Good Lord. Anyway, so I got to this lady's house, and she had this skittish dog, and she said that she had just gotten the dog yesterday, which I thought was really weird that she's like already over walking him. She's like, I didn't realize he had to go out every day. Oh, I'm tearing my hair out. It's been almost 1 day. So I took her dog, and then we walked for half an hour, and then we came back, and I texted her in the app. I was like, we're back, you know. And she didn't respond right away, which was concerning. I don't like my time wasted. I texted her a couple more times. No response. Uh-oh. And then I finally got a response, thank God. And it said, you have the wrong number. But I wasn't texting her. I was talking to her in the app. It's her. There's no way we switched phone numbers, babe. And it was at that point that I realized I had been given a dog. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the next step is. They didn't go over this at WeWork. Maybe if I was some fancy schmancy wag walker, I would know what to do, but I did not. So I called the company, and I said, I think I've been given a dog. And they said, oh, yeah, that'll happen. Yep. Yeah, we get dogs sometimes. Congrats. And I said, what do I do? Do I take it down to WeWork? I mean, where are we going? And then my phone died. And the only good stories today involve your phone dying. There's no good story where it's like, I had full service. No, if your phone works, you just fix the problem. Go home. But my phone died, so I don't know where she lived. It was in a building. It was like 5-story tall, this building in Koreatown. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I'll say, my first step is just getting in the building. So I waited till someone walked in the building, and I followed them in. Which, I don't know if you've ever tried to do that, but people always let you. It's true. People would much rather you get in their building and stab someone else than like get in a fight with you up front, and they're gonna stab you to get to them. Either way, someone's getting stabbed, don't be a hero. Hey, can I get in here? Absolutely. Whoa. Yeah. So then, so I get in, and I think, I gotta find the landlord. That's my step. So I just start knocking. I knocked on 1, apartment 1. I started at 1. It's usually the landlord. I found out it was not the landlord. It was an angry guy who was not the landlord. And I thought, well, you're so angry, you could be a landlord. Something to think about. They told me what room the landlord was in, what apartment, and then I went to that apartment, and then an 8-year-old boy came out. And he was like, hi. And I'm like, you're the landlord? Thank you for laughing at that. That was really dumb. That's dumb as hell. And you honestly should feel guilty about it. You laugh. I mean, this is a good crowd, and I'm happy about it, but disappointed in you. So anyway, the 8-year-old came out, and he's like, hi, how are you? And then I said, I'm looking for Anna, And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, well, let me ask my mom. And he went inside, and then he came back out, and he was like, room 321. And I was like, you just told me? That can't be a good policy. You didn't ask me any questions about what I wanted. Where's Anna? He's there. But I thought that probably he knew Anna. And, you know, she's been giving him problems, too. And he's probably like, Anna? Yeah. I wouldn't normally do this, but 321. Yeah, we got to get her out of the building. Her apartment's rent controlled. I was like, wow, you have a lot of info for an 8-year-old. So I went to 321, and I knocked on the door. And immediately I heard a giant dog on the other side of the door barking. Like, that is confusing, because I was pretty sure I had her dog. There's another dog, and now I'm like, well, so many questions. Like, do I have to take him on a walk? What? Why does this one walk? What's going on over there? And then I knocked again. I knocked a third time, and then I heard, shh. Anna, come on. I'm not a great detective, but this one is you. You're back there. It's such a funny thing. She might as well have gone like, shh, we're hiding from him. I'm trying to give him that dog you didn't like that I got yesterday. So then I was like, I know you're in there. And then she's like, oh, okay. And then she opened the door, and I lived in New York 16 years, so I know when someone is on heroin. This lady was on heroin. And she, I don't think, had planned to give me a dog. I think she just did some heroin, and that was making the decisions. I think when she shushed the dog, she was just kind of like, can you shush? I'm enjoying this heroin. And that was really it. But then I was like, okay, here's your dog. And she was like, oh, all right. And then you know those moments, you know, where you're in like customer service or whatever, when like all bets are off because they're such a terrible person, and you're like, no one's gonna get mad at me if I just ask her for money. So I said, give me some money. I don't know. I mean, this is awful. She tried to give me a dog. She ruined my day. Give me some money. And then she's like, I'll tip you in the app. And I was like, I've heard that one before. But then she said her final words, I mean, I hear them when I go to sleep at night. They were so haunting. She looked me in my eye and she said, are you mad at me? And I said, yes! Threw her dog at her. I don't know whatever happened to that dog, but I really miss him. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wait till my wedding, buddy. That's where it's gonna be my time to shine. I'm not doing anything that you can trace back to a religious ceremony at all. I have a friend that I'm gonna get ordained in the Church of Satan.
No.
If you don't subscribe to all these like religious ceremonies and all these timelines that everybody has set up, then no one believes your love. It's so fucking weird. Love is the end all and be all. Love is everything. It's very real and tangible and the most powerful thing in the world.
Hey, have we gotten my dad on the phone? Have you heard about?
Please sing your mom happy birthday.
Absolutely! I don't know if literally anyone else in the room wants to do it, but it doesn't matter. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You beautiful woman. Happy birthday to Marsha. Happy birthday to you. And where is Bruce? Thank you very much.